Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. I'm glad to be back with the update this week and we'll jump right in. We have an exciting week happening at the resort and that means that we have a lot of pets coming in. So everybody in the practice just needs to be really aware of that. A couple things that are affected when we have that high of a volume. First and foremost, our team. The resort team, they will need help and they will need support and they need to hear that they're doing a great job because they always do. So if you have a few minutes to spare and you can go give them a hand at any point, really from now until almost next Tuesday, are our very busiest times, probably of the year. Most concentrated at least. And you can help in so many ways. Help with dishes. Their bathtub fills with dirty bowls that have to be cleaned every day, and that's something that you can help with. Even if you just go and wash a few and set them out to dry, that really is just a few less that they have to do later. Help with clients in the lobby who can create congestion and who really need attention and care, feeling good about us and about what we can offer them, and with the assistance that they need getting in and out of the building. Those are big things. Helping to tidy up the lobby and clean, pass with a dust mop and a mop. Helping to do play times or owner updates. Helping to fill water bowls, helping with feeding. Any of these things you can go and just really ask before you do, but then jump in and take care of. There's just a ton of things that need to be done. Helping to scoop the yards, the front of the practice, as well as the potty yards, all again really big things that we can do. Also for our nursing team, helping to clear the hospital lobby can be a help too, so that then they can help with checking in at the front desk for the resort is a big deal. Our parking lot gets very congested, as I said this morning at rounds, with all the drop-offs and pickups, which means that hospital clients end up having to sometimes park further away. So helping them out to their car is especially important during this time too. It's really a all hands on deck kind of thing. So I'm expecting to see that, and I know that you guys will do great with it. In other exciting news, our Christmas party is fast approaching and we're really trying to get ready, especially Dr. Kristen trying to get her home and our meal ready. So it really helps if you RSVP. I'll put the link below this update in Slack today. So make sure that you do that, please, if you're planning to attend, or if you're not, please respond right away so that we can get everything in order and have an awesome party like we always do. I wanted to also commend in this update both Dr. Dusty and Alex for an amazing senior pets talk. It's kind of been the talk of the town, believe it or not. A lot of people have given great feedback that they just really loved it. We had an amazing turnout and they think it's so special that as a practice we do this kind of thing. So thank you to Dr. Dusty and to Alex for organizing this and for executing it and making a huge difference with that. Every core value there, y'all. If you are interested and if you have topics that you think that clients would like to share, again, the general feedback has been that people just absolutely love hearing this unique perspective on pet care and are interested in a variety of more topics. So if you have anything that you think would make a great talk, maybe something that you find yourself sharing more about or you feel like we neglect to share more about, we'd love to hear from you because we'd love to host more of these and would love to include more team in them as well. So feedback is so appreciated on that. Also, great shout out goes to Amber Giese for organizing our Santa Paws events. This is kind of a 4-part event, 2 parts which have already happened. One was the arrival of Santa at the mall, and then there will be 3 pet nights. One which was last night, Tuesday night, and then 2 more, November 27th and December 4th. These are pet photo nights at the mall. So you know how you go to the mall and you have your kids sit on Santa's lap and can get a portrait made? Well, it's for pets, so it's even better. And I think it's pets and families that can be involved, and then the pet parent owner can buy those portraits through the mall. We're just a sponsor to help make it happen, and we've been showing up to every event with goodies for pets and collecting with potential new clients. it's been great so far. The first 2 parts of the event, we had team volunteers at, and feedback that they were just really phenomenal. And the mall has done a really great job of kind of showcasing our practice and our practice information there. So if you'd like to get involved, we'd love your help. If you want to just go and attend with your pet and get some really cute family pictures, do that too. We've seen a couple of those floating around, and they're just so fun. So just be aware that that's going on. And again, great job to Amber for coordinating that. It is awesome. The next thing that our practice is getting involved in and sponsoring is the Mongoose Park expansion. I'm sure that you've heard some whispering around town, and now it's really underway that Mongoose Park, the horse farm, is expanding, and they're making like a Lafayette Central Park out of it. So Central Park, like what's in New York, where you have so many elements from children to pets to hiking and sightseeing and meditation ponds and swimming ponds and all those types of things. They are creating that right here in Lafayette, just off of Johnson Street. So one big feature of it is going to be an off-leash dog play area. And our practice is going to be one of the sponsors to make that happen. So just next week, they're having a gala where they're going to showcase all the features of the park, and the primary sponsors. Many of our doctors will be attending that gala to represent us, and we're just really looking forward to seeing that unfold. And I wanted everybody to know about it because certainly we'll be connecting with clients there, and hopefully we'll get some great feedback for being involved in that. And I want you to know that we're proud to be part of it, so you should be proud too. The next thing that I wanted to remind everybody about is that as we approach the end of the year, our company insurance benefits that we give to you are going to be nearing the end of the deductible phase. So that means that if you have benefits through the practice, like if you have your own medical health insurance, if you have dental or vision, any of those types of things where you have a max allowance for the year or deductible that you have to meet, that ends December 31st. So for example, with vision and dental, you get so many exams or so many cleanings per year. So if you haven't utilized those, don't let them go to waste. Just remember to use them because you pay for them, and it's a great, great benefit. So if you have questions about that, you can definitely reach out to Laura. She'll be happy to explain that to you or help you to utilize those the way that you want to. For workplace announcements, or some housekeeping things rather, I wanted to remind everybody that when the lights are off in either the pharmacy lab area or in the treatment area, that's indicating that there needs to be quiet time going on. Most of the time, it's a surefire indication that there's a pet being euthanized, or an owner saying their final goodbyes, or maybe a really intimate type of pet visitation is happening. So what it really means is that you need to go down to only essential communications at a very low voice or a whisper. Our voices just absolutely carry through the practice, and they just funnel right into exam rooms or right into quiet spaces. So we really have to watch that. And another thing that we should always be watching, but especially during this time, is any kind of playful conversation, laughters, joking, you know what I'm talking about. Those seem to be what creeps in during this time, and it's very distracting and disrespectful in many cases. So please just make sure that you're aware that's our policy. Lights go out, so do your voices. The next thing that I wanted to talk about on a similar note is that we need to make sure that our team is staying out of the doctor's office. There's one thing, it's one thing to go into the doctor's office just to quickly get the attention of your doctor, or to pull them out so that they can come into an appointment. But it's quite another to linger in there, to have small talk or personal talk, joking around, even standing in the doorway. It's very distracting. They only have a small amount of desk space in there, certainly a small amount of workspace. That's their space where they make phone calls, they do records. And so invading in on that is very distracting and disrespectful again. So we want to make sure that you stop doing that. This has been mentioned a couple of times before, and unfortunately it has not gotten better, so I'm hoping this is the last time that I'll have to say that. Okay, so moving on, the next thing that I wanted to talk about in the way of kind of housekeeping and getting everybody on the same page is when we're scheduling appointments for either a doctor or a groomer, there's have been two common occurrences where recently we've been disappointing some clients by not either hearing what they're saying or not even asking if they have a preference on who they see again. You know, we are in the relationship business, and that's one of our core values is building relationships. So we love to hear that a client has a preference and that they create a bond with a certain individual who provides care to their pet. And so if we don't honor that and we don't listen to those requests, we end up disappointing the client and disappointing ourselves. It's kind of a broken mission at that point. So please make sure that you're aware that that is important to people and it's important to all of us. It's a great honor to have a client request you. So we want to make sure that we fulfill that if at all possible. What I like to do is when I'm on the phone, even before I start looking at the calendar, I ask the client if they have a preference on who they see. And if they do, then I explain the schedule and I explain that person's availability. From there, if it doesn't work, the client knows that we tried. Otherwise, if a client says they don't have any preference, then you can jump into maybe who's the most available, who's the soonest available, and kind of go on that basis of availability. But you have to make sure that you ask. Again, we wouldn't be saying this if we hadn't had numerous people expressing frustration with us or disappointment with us that we had failed in these areas. So please, if you're not working this into your routine and if it's not an every time type of habit for you, you need to change that because it's really important to people. So make sure that you ask that preference before you just schedule. Very last thing here. I wanted to remind everybody that we have a manager on call system for a reason. We have a manager on call for 24 hours every day. It starts at midnight, 12 a.m., and it goes until like 11:59 p.m. that each of those managers are on call, and they're compensated for that. That means that other managers who are not on call are not being compensated for that. So please try and respect the system and respect the time of people when they're off. I know when you're working, we want you to call people for help. Absolutely do. But try and call the manager on call first and give them some time to call you back. I would respect with 10 minutes. If you try and call them once, give them 10 minutes, try and call them a second time. If they don't answer the second time or if they haven't responded to you, then maybe you can move on if you're in an urgent need. And you can call them for anything. You can call them for questions on scheduling, of course, things that are going on in your department, things that are going on in the practice, things that are not working, client issues, anything they're prepared to handle. And if they're not, they have an appropriate resource that they follow up with too. So just make sure that you respect that system. Okay, so that's it for housekeeping announcements. For team announcements, I have some very sad news, and I'm sorry to share it this way. We just don't have a platform to meet with people individually on this type of thing or having group meetings anymore. But to jump right in, I wanted to share that we have two doctors who are moving on and choosing other paths for themselves right now. And that's going to be first Dr. Tony Nada. His life is really based in Baton Rouge, and he's been commuting to work for a long time. But since they've welcomed baby Ellis into their family, it's just become a lot on them. So he's going to be taking a job at the beginning of next year, closer to home, and we're very happy for him, but sad to see him go, and he'll be missed, of course. And then there's Dr. Ryan Andrews, who is also going to be moving back to where he's from, just to be closer to family and taking a job near them as well. So he'll be leaving in late December. And we're going to miss them both so much. We will be welcoming new veterinarians into our team to try and take their places, and we'll communicate that with you guys as soon as we get that figured out, and we'll be working on it now. For our nursing team, who is facing choice scheduling right now, this may create a slight delay, maybe not. I just wanted you to be aware that if we've had to postpone your schedule change for a week or two, this is the only reason why. And we just want to make sure that the shifts that we offer you and the shifts that we promise you are going to be the shifts that we can fulfill for you based on new veterinarians availability. So I wanted to make everybody aware of that sad news. Try not to bombard them with questions or concerns about it or give them a hard time. I know that they are sad to leave us, just as sad as we are to lose them. Okay, so the last thing, I just wanted to wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving. Hope you have a wonderful holiday. I am so thankful for you all in my life and everything that you guys do for our practice. I'm especially thankful for the people who are sacrificing and working through the holiday here. And I wish you a very safe and happy holiday with your families. Enjoy.